Hello and welcome to another video. So I've actually had a plan for a while to make a video just about comic book movies in general, and like, are we comic book movied out as a movie going society, or how do we feel about that right now? Because, like, in my honest opinion, Marvel movies have really been tanking lately in terms of quality. I will tell you, I both did not care for Doctor Strange. I did not care for Thor. And even going back to the beginning of this phase with like Black Widow was dreadful. I can't speak to Shang-Chi because I didn't see it. I've heard nothing but bad things about Eternals. And of course, Spider-Man was fantastic. That was like the one shining beacon of hope. But originally I was going to throw that in this video, but I want to just concentrate on Warner Brothers today because there's a lot of just fucking crazy shit going on with Warner Brothers right now. And the biggest thing that this video is going to focus on is this fucking Flash movie that, like, oh my god, they just don't know. They don't know what to do. Like, the biggest problem is that Warner Brothers doesn't know what to do with this movie because you have a returning Batman in Michael Keaton, which is guaranteed money. Like, people my age, people older than me, they want to go and they want to see him be in the Batsuit again. My mother, who introduced me to the character of Batman, after seeing the commercial when I was a child for the '89 Batman movie over and over and over again, until I begged my parents to take me to see that movie. My mother is who introduced me to the character of Batman, specifically Michael Keaton Batman. And even though she probably would not understand the idea of the multiverse, she wants to see this movie because Michael Keaton is returning as Batman. That's how important that return is. And Warner Brothers fucking knows this. And that's why they want to put this movie out. Here's the problem. Ezra Miller. So, this person is just... it's one of those situations where it's like, the evidence seems pretty damning, but it's just this person seems like a real piece of hot garbage. They've been doing a lot of like just heinous shit, which I'm not going to get into here on this video. If you really want to know what Ezra Miller has done to garner so much hate, just pause this video, go type the name Ezra Miller into YouTube. You'll find countless videos about what this dude has done, why this person is such a piece of garbage. And then you'll understand like why Warner Brothers is in the fucking bind that they're in with this movie. So before I discuss it any further, let's talk about what's happened today. Why this matters now, why I'm making this video finally. So this article comes to us by way of IGN, but this news is everywhere. Basically, Warner Brothers has three plans. They have three options right now that they can choose from on how to release this movie. The first option involves releasing the film with limited press. Apparently, Warner's only stipulation in this case is that Miller seeks professional help after returning to their family home. Eventually, Miller would have to give an interview explaining their behavior. Miller would then have to do a limited amount of press following the film's release. So basically what would happen here is they would scale back all of the press stuff when the movie comes out, which is huge for Warner Brothers because you want to have that. You want to have that with your movie, okay? You want to have the Michael Keaton red carpet walk. And while they probably still will have that, you want to have Michael Keaton with Ezra Miller interviewing during this movie. That's not going to happen now. Best case scenario, that's not going to happen. Option 2. The second option is that the film is still released even if Miller doesn't seek help. They would not participate in the marketing or press for the film. It's a very unusual move for a film star, but given the circumstances, it would make sense. Following the film's release, Miller would not play the Flash in any future projects. As far as I'm concerned, this person is never going to play the Flash again after this movie, regardless of what happens. I'm pretty sure they've already come out and said they're severing ties with Ezra Miller when this movie is out and done. The third option, which is the most extreme, is to scrap the movie completely. Miller plays multiple characters and is in almost every scene, making it practically impossible to save, even through recasting or reshoots. This is apparently very much a worst case scenario reserved for if Miller's situation continues to deteriorate. It would be a shocking blow if this scenario occurred, considering the film cost $200 million, and that's not counting marketing, people. That's literally the cost of making this fucking movie, is $200 million. So there you have it. Like, though, that is basically Warner Brothers' blueprint for how to put the Flash movie out and try to salvage this mess that Ezra Miller has created. I think the problem I have with this, the big stinking pile on top of all this, and I have not discussed this on the channel, I almost made a video about it, but I was kind of waiting to see where the other shoe dropped with the Flash, which now we know, is the cancellation of the Batgirl movie. So Warner Brothers, after they did this huge merger with Discovery, they are cleaning house. They are cutting a bunch of stuff to save money. They're cutting a lot of original programming on HBO Max, which Warner Brothers obviously has their, hands in pretty big. They're cutting shit left and right. They cut completely, and this is unprecedented. Like, this doesn't happen. Like, you have to have like a Kevin Spacey type situation for a movie that is done to get completely canceled, and that's what happened with Batgirl. This is a movie that cost $90 million before marketing of any kind. That was a streaming only movie. It was only going to be on HBO Max. It was not going to have a theatrical release. This is also a movie that had Michael Keaton in it as Batman. This would have taken place after the events of the Flash movie. And you also had a great fan casting choice in Brendan Fraser, kind of making a return to the big screen, so to speak, as Firefly. I mean, that's huge. Like, in all intents and purposes, it was going to be awesome. I was really looking forward to this Batgirl movie. Like, especially that Gail Simone run that I read in the early to mid 2010s when that came out. Great run of that comic. It kind of reignited my love for the character, and Batgirl's been done dirty in recent times. I mean, there's that terrible Killing Joke movie that they did, the animated movie, where they decided they needed to add to that story because they couldn't put out a 50-minute movie, which you totally could have. People would have accepted it. And they added a scene in the beginning where Batman and Batgirl hook up, and it makes no sense considering she sees him as a father figure, and it's kind of disgusting, honestly. And that put a lot of people off. Like, I've watched that movie once, and it's unfortunate because it is also one of Mark Hamill's greatest performances as the Joker, and I don't want to watch it again because of that scene, because there's such garbage surrounding that. And if you were to sit down and watch that movie and fast forward to where the Killing Joke starts and it ends, then it's fine. But it's that beginning wraparound that just makes no sense. Why did we add this bullshit to this movie? So Batgirl in recent times, like, she's been done kind of dirty, and like, I was looking forward to this movie that had the suit correct. I like the shot of her that's out there in the suit. It's fucking amazing. And I was really looking forward to everything about this movie. Michael Keaton, again, this was going to be his post being pulled into the DC universe. I guess we should talk about that part of this movie. So the whole purpose of this Flash movie, which now it sounds like has been reshot in a way that this is not the case anymore. The whole purpose of this movie was going to reset the DC movie universe. Basically, they were going to use the multiverse in this movie to alter it, to make some changes. One of the big changes is Ben Affleck Batman is also in this movie. The whole point was they were going to change it so that he's kind of left to his own devices in a different universe, so to speak, and they pull in Michael Keaton as the new Batman of the DC universe. You have to ask yourself, though, Michael Keaton is I believe he's almost 70 years old. Does he want to play Batman for the next 10 years? Probably not, dude. So, I mean, he's on file when they asked him how he felt about Batgirl, like, going, shit, was I in that movie? Like, they probably had him shoot all of his stuff back to back to back, so he probably doesn't remember what is what at this point. and he's been on file saying that he's gone on the record saying that he doesn't give a shit about, like, he doesn't watch these movies after he films it, which I think is both hilarious. Michael Keaton is someone that I have massive respect for. He's one of my favorite actors. I grew up watching his movies, not just Batman, like Mr. Mom, a personal favorite movie of mine. The Dream Team, a great 80s comedy. Highly recommend if you've never seen it. He's got serious movies that are great too. A Clean Sober, amazing movie. I don't want to go on a tangent about Michael Keaton, but the dude has made a lot of great movies. So, massive respect for him. And it's, for me, as a gigantic Batman fan, it would be a huge blow if this movie got canceled and we never get to see any of this work with him playing Batman again. Like, I think that's why Warner Brothers is holding on to this so dearly and hoping and praying that Ezra Miller doesn't fuck up anymore so we can put this movie out. I really think that is the plan. With everything there being said, I think there is another option, and it's an option they're not going to go for, because they have come out and said, like, they don't want to make these movies streaming only. But I think rather than cancel this movie, if you get to that point, just fucking put it on HBO Max. Like, people want to see this movie, regardless of what happens, regardless of Ezra Miller's current situation, what they're doing. You know, it doesn't matter. People still want to see this movie. You know, I'll say this, and I say this a lot of times, like, you can hate on an actor, but there are actors that give great performances that might be a terrible person in real life. I'm not going to name names because that's not the point of this video, but there are plenty of examples of actors out there who can give amazing performances, and a lot of times I don't think that should take away from a movie's enjoyment. Like, oh, well, this person did this in real life and stuff, when it's warranted. There's sometimes where it's so far that you can't help it. It's a big example of that would be like Kevin Spacey, obviously, like, heinous. But again, I think you understand what I mean by that. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Should the Flash movie come out? Should it be released as is, or should it be scrapped altogether and we just forget its existence and we start a quote-unquote 10-year plan? The problem I have really quick here with the 10-year plan? Warner Brothers has been saying that since 2008. Oh, we have a 10-year plan for our heroes. Oh, we have a 10-year plan. I've heard this time and time again. So when they come out now and say, oh, we want to have a 10-year plan that basically is Marvel's blueprint, I really have a hard time believing them. So, anyways, leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Should the Flash movie come out? Should it be canceled? I'd love to know. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later.